news came out.
Sorry, man.
News came out. UFC is targeting lightweight fight between Islam Makhachev and Drew Dober. Per multiple sources. No official date yet, but March 6th is an option. That's a damn good matchup. I'm reading off a tweet from somebody. I forgot. I'll cite it next time.
Helwani.
But March seems to fit the agenda in terms of Islam's schedule. Ramadan's in May, so he's probably not going to fight anytime around that. So March would give him some buffer. Drew Dober is kind of a strange fight. So Drew Dober is actually ranked at 15 currently. So he's in the top 15 in lightweight. However, he kind of took the other route in terms of how he's going to fight for the next year or so. So what it looks like from what we discussed, if you remember, we talked about how Islam has a couple options in the way that he approaches getting to the title or continuing his rise. So one is just essentially just staying as active as possible, fighting as many people as possible, or sticking to a route where you're picking opponents in the top 10, top 5 that you can beat and get to the title fight sooner. It looks like Rafael dos Anjos, RDA, was that second option where he's top 10, he was top 6. You could probably say that Islam would beat him, not pretty easily, but he would probably win against RDA and catapult to that top 10 and possibly top 7 around that area. Doesn't look like they're interested in that fight anymore. UFC perspective. RDA is super active on Twitter and stuff like that. I haven't seen anything from him as of recent regarding that Islam fight, but the UFC has elected to not go that route and go the other route where he's just super active. Drew Dober is no slouch. He's 32 years old. Has been in the UFC for 7 years. He hasn't fought too many of the top 15 lightweights.
He fought Hak Paras though, our Avian brother, right? And he knocked him out in one round.
He's on a 3-win fight streak right now. The notable names that he's beaten, especially the ones that are on the rise, like young guys that UFC wouldn't mind being stars or wouldn't mind having wins, would be Alexander Hernandez and your boy Nasrat.
Nasrat, our boy.
He won the last 3 fights all by TKO or KO in the first or second round. So I went through some of his fights, and what I got from him is that he's a pressure fighter that pushes a pace and comes forward the entire fight. This guy does not go backwards.
He fights peekaboo as well too. If you see him fight, he fights with his gloves super close to his chin, and he just pushes. Yeah,
which is kind of why this next point is his defense to takedown is decent. His takedown defense is decent. And what he does is that if he gets taken down, he tries to get up as quickly as possible, or he stays active on the bottom. Other than that, he doesn't really have the best sweeps. He doesn't have the best grappling overall in terms of trying to gain better position and then use that to get up or anything like that.
Basically what you're saying is that he's not close to Islam's level in wrestling.
Yeah. So in terms of grappling, Islam is much better in that avenue. Drew Dober does have power in his hands. Great timing, slipping, strike, and returning strikes. To your point, where he has that boxer kind of stance where he will continually go with pressure, but he will take his time and try to slip your punches and return. He has good hands, which is what I'm trying to say. He's very, very bouncy, but he does take a lot of damage. A lot of times, he's type of fighter where he'll take a punch to give a punch, and he will.
Reminds me of Gaethje.
Yeah.
Well, like striking wise, well, not like as much overhands, but
yeah, Gaethje is not as bouncy as this guy. So, Drew Dober really is a first round or second round fighter. If it goes a decision, I don't see him winning a decision, especially against Islam. But Islam has to be careful in that first round. If you see his fights against guys like Nasrat, he just went forward, even though Nasrat was going forward as well, and eventually just clipped him.
I'm scared for Islam, man, because we've seen his chin been cracked before, you know.
Yeah, but
like out with Drew Dober. I don't know.
The last time that Islam lost, or the only time he lost, was due to strikes. If you see that fight, his striking was not at the level that it is now. He was lunging forward. He had his hands down. You could tell that he was very, very early in the striking game, and that was a long time ago. I don't think Islam is the type of fighter that's going to engage in what Drew Dober wants. Drew Dober wants to stay in the pocket and just fling hands, just like throw haymakers at his opponents, and he catches them. Nasrat
swing first.
Nasrat, he should have had a better game plan where he didn't initiate that, because he was testing who's gonna hit first, and he lost in terms of like staying in the pocket and lunging forward. But if you also look at Drew Dober, his most recent top 15 fighter, other than Islam now, was Beneil Dariush, who submitted him via armbar. So Dariush also fell into the Drew Dober trap, where he started throwing hands and lunging forward and like making it a dogfight basically. But Beneil Dariush ate those shots and then slowly wore him down. He took him down and he beat him via armbar. You could tell the massive difference between the two of them on the ground, and Drew Dober just didn't have the grappling skills to fend off anything that Beneil Dariush had at that time. So I think Islam Makhachev will win this fight, but he has to go with Father's plan. Do you know what Father's plan is?
Father's plan is smash.
No, it's not. No, that's Khabib's plan. Father's plan is you stay on the outside, you pick your shots, and then when you get a chance, grapple, put him against the fence, take him down, and then submit him. I hope Islam Makhachev does that, and he doesn't think that he doesn't overvalue his striking skills and his ability to counter.
Have you watched that one fight with Islam and the Arman guy, where they were putting on a sick it was all wrestling for 3 rounds? Did you watch that fight?
No, I haven't.
It was recently.
Yeah.
But man, if his wrestling is anything in that fight, this is gonna be a tough fight for Dober.
Yeah, I think Islam could beat him in the first round if he takes him down and just holds him there, and tries to advance position, slowly get to mount, and just armbar him, whatever it may be. But he has to be careful in that beginning. He cannot get sucked into that striking match. I know Islam Makhachev loves his striking now. Is a very good counter striker. Can slip punches. Can stand with the best of them. But he will get caught. He will get hit by a couple punches. Just by all these Drew Dober fights that I've seen, he does hit people. Now I don't want him to think or rely on his chin, so I rather him just go with Father's plan and win this fight. Nothing against Drew Dober. He's a very good fighter. He's a UFC veteran. It's just Islam Makhachev just has more tools right now. He's a little bit younger, and this could be a very, very good test for Islam to get to the future.
And hopefully after this fight we see the Brock Lesnar fight. Inshallah.
Every fight you got to mention that, huh?
It has to be